Okay, this is chapter 6, Show What You Know. And again, just a reminder, your Show What You Know is always some of what you learned from 4th grade and 5th grade about the subject that we're going to be learning about this chapter. So it's a review of some information that's going to help you this time when we go do it on this round in 6th grade. All right, so here's your 4 Do Now problems. Go ahead and pause your video and try these right now. Okay, let's go over them. All right, so whenever I have a multiplication problem that is written horizontally, I like to rewrite it vertically, and I had 98 here. Then 90 divided by 15, again, this is written horizontally, and I wanted to put it in with this kind of division symbol. 15 will go into 96 times. It's always a little bit easier when we rewrite those problems. All right, then here we're just doing some adding. So we get 810, 810. Remember, I shouldn't have used the word and because and always stands for a decimal point, and there isn't a decimal point here. So we just say 810. Okay, then on this one, we are finding our common factor. Our common factor of 3. 3 will divide 3 evenly. 3 will also divide 18 evenly. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, those are your do now problems. And then for your Show What You Know, we're just going to go over a couple of these problems together. This will look like a lot like what you're going to do today on your Think Central assignment. I'm going to make this a little bit closer for us. Okay, so let's just start at the top. It says choose the appropriate unit. Circle the more reasonable unit to measure the object. So if we're measuring the length of a car, would we want to do it in inches or would we want to do it in feet? So we would pick feet for that one because a car is a pretty large object. We wouldn't, when you start getting into like 1,000 inches, it's hard to really picture that in our mind, but we could picture like 15 feet in our minds a little bit better. The smaller numbers are easier to picture in our minds. All right, so then the length of a soccer field, meters or kilometers. So remember, a kilometer is more like the size of a mile. It's closer to a mile than it is. A meter is like an arm length. So actually, those of you who watch football or soccer know that that is measured in meters. So we would choose meters for the length of a soccer field. A kilometer would be just too long. That's more like the distance between our school and the high school, right? So that's longer than an actual soccer field. So we want to go with a measurement that's a little bit smaller so we can picture it in our minds. When we talk about 100 meters or 200 meters, we can picture that in our minds. Okay, now when we get to metric units, we're going to be doing a lot of moving decimals. I just want to remind you here we have a decimal. I'm going to actually try to get this in a little bit more, or maybe even push this button so it'll clear up for us. I'll rewrite it. So we have on this one 2 and 51 hundredths, and we're multiplying that by 10. So remember that when you multiply by 10, you can just move your decimal one spot to make the number larger when you're multiplying by 10. So we would move one spot because there's 1 0 and 10. This would end up being 25.1. We have 5 and 3/10 here. So we are multiplying by 100. 100 has 2 zeros in it. So we will be moving our decimal 2 spots to make the number larger. So that would be 530, right? Let's jump down to some division here. This one says 3 and 25 hundredths, and we are going to be dividing that by 10. So we're making it smaller by 1 decimal spot. So you're going to move your decimal to make the number smaller, and that will be 325 thousandths. The numbers all become behind the decimal. All right, let's check this one out over here. 56 and 2/10. We're dividing by 1,000. That's a division symbol. Dividing by 1,000. 1,000 has 3 zeros in it. So we are going to move our decimal 1, 2, 3 spots, making that smaller since we're dividing. I have to add in a place holding 0 there. So it pushes everything over. Okay. Then we did a little bit of conversions last year. 12 pounds equals how many ounces? So what I need to do is I need to think in 1 pound, there's 16 ounces. So if I have 12, that would be 12 times 16, as each of these pounds has 16 ounces in it. So I need to multiply. Add 202. All right, let's look at this one. We have 8 cups and we want to know how many pints. So I could draw my 8 cups here. That would be one way that you might have done this last year. And the information that they give us is that 2 cups are going to equal 1 pint. So these 2 would be 1 pint, another 2 would be another pint, another 2, and another 2. So we're dividing here by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 pints. Let's do one last one that looks like that. We have 84 inches equals how many feet? So I have 84 inches. And I know these are inches right here. So I have 84 of them. And there's 12 of them to make a foot. So that means I would have to divide my 84 into groups of 12 so I can figure out how many feet. So I'm going to divide that by 12. And then I know that 12 times 5 is 60. So let me just check on that actually. Yep, 12 times 5 is 60. So let's times 12 times 6 is 72. And let's try 12 times 7, 84. So it'll fit in there 7 times. 84 inches equals 7 feet. Okay, you can try your Think Central assignment.